Babangida came to power through military coup on August 27, 1985, after he had successfully removed General Muhammadu Buhari, who took over power on 31st of December 1983. It was for a transition to civil rule program by his government that the 1989 Constitution was initiated with a Constitution Review Committee, the Constituent Assembly, as well as the Political Bureau. So General Ibrahim Babangida's government wanted to transition back to civil rule, and that was when the 1989 Constitution was drafted by a Constitution Review Committee. 17 members constituted the Political Bureau, established on the 13th of January 1986. The body wrote a report for the Constitutional Review Committee after going through views of Nigeria about the country's political failure, their feelings and aspirations. Finally, on 7th of September 1987, 46 members of the Constitution Review Committee were constituted to use the findings of the Political Bureau as a basis for reviewing the 1963 and 1979 First and Second Republic Constitutions, respectively. The Constitution Review Committee produced a constitution after the examination was carried out by the Constituent Assembly, established on 11th of May 1988 with a membership of 452. The report was submitted to the administration of Babangida with some amendments and later promulgated into law without a degree backing it up. So, what are the features of this 1989 Republican Constitution? First, a presidential system of government. The 1989 Republican Constitution retained the 1979 presidential system of government. The Constitution adopted a two-party system of government. So there were only two parties we allowed to only two parties were allowed to contest for election. So it was a two-party system that was operating part-time. Lawmakers in the country's legislative houses were to be on with sitting allowances, that is, they were part-time. The Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, the new Federal Capital Territory would not have the status of a state. So another feature of the 1989 Republican Constitution is Abuja did not have the status of a state because it was the Federal Capital Territory. Independence of judiciary. Provisions were made for the entrenchment of the independence of the judiciary in the Constitution. So the judiciary, the Constitution made room for independence of the judiciary. That is, the judiciary should not be dependent on any other organ of government so that they don't become partial, so that they can deliver their duties impartially. Fundamental human rights. There was also entrenchment of the fundamental human rights of citizens in the Constitution. Citizenship. Citizenship could either be by registration, by birth, or by naturalization, and the process for each of these citizenships were defined accordingly in the Constitution. Process of recall. The electorate could recall any lawmaker that no longer had the trust and confidence of the people. So if a lawmaker loses trust and confidence in the people, the electorate could recall such lawmaker. That is, me and you, we are the electorate. The citizens of a country are the electorate. So the electorate, that is, the citizens of a country that have the right to vote. And in Nigeria, we operate universal adult suffrage. That is, if a person is an adult, 18 and above, the person has the right to vote. If the person gets a voter's card, registers for election, then the person has the right to vote. So if the electorate decide to say we don't want this lawmaker again, the lawmaker no longer has our trust and confidence, they could recall such lawmaker. Adoption of school certificate. The school certificate was adopted as the minimum qualification for the office of presidents, governors, and lawmakers or legislature. So before anybody could vie for the post of the president, a governor, or a lawmaker, the person must have at least the minimum of a school leaving certificate, which is what we call our WAEC, our NECO, and the likes. Compilation of election results. Provisions were made for a rounding off of fraction to whole numbers arising from final compilation of election results of votes. So there was provision that if a vote is not up to 1, the vote could be rounded up to a whole number after the final compilation of the elections results and votes. With this, we've come to the end of this class. In the course of this class, we had a brief introduction into how we came about the 1989 Republican Constitution, and we equally looked at the features of the 1989 Republican Constitution. And I'll see you at the next class.